Hey, how are you all doing? Right, hope you're all having a terrifically good weekend. Well, it's winding down now, isn't it? Alright, although not for me. Okay, anywho, what we're looking at in this video is some of the less common hacking tools that you might find. Alright, less common you might find. I don't really know if that's a good way of putting it. Anyhow, it's just the sort of less common of the tools. Alright. Now, a lot of this, I suppose, can be used for repair as well. But, yeah, whichever. Alright, whether it be repairs, whether it be ethical hacking, really sort of whatever you're doing, or whether you're doing scratch builds, or just about anything to do with electronics. There's some stuff here that we're going to have a little look at. Alright? And I don't really know where we're going to start with this. Well, where are we going to start? I know what we'll do. We'll just go with some of the stuff that's in the box. We'll get that opened. And we'll start to have a look. In fact, I have a better idea before that. I reckon we need to go to another stage in the iterative process. Here's the next part of our iterative thing, or waterfall method, probably more likely, when it comes to systems analysis. I think we're going to do this one, Fragile. Yeah, because, well, all neaky guys like me definitely need a good drink, don't we? This weekend it'd be rude not to. So I reckon let's get that opened. I was going to hit the Bardinay brandy. I might do that one later, because that's a dedication for someone anyway. But yeah, the Fragile, let's go with this one, the Cordon Negro Grand Selection Brut Cava from Spaniel. Spania. Spanner? No, Spain. Right, okay, let's get this open then. And what's the instructions on it? Alright, yeah, point away from the face then. Alright, cool. Because, yeah, we don't want this flying off and hitting me in the face. That would be sadness, although not for you lot. It would be for me. I don't really want to be whacked in the face with a cork. I've had that happen before and it hurts. The pain is right corker, isn't it? That's crap. Expecting this probably to just spring off. The last thing you want as well is have that go bang while the cage is there. That hits you. There we go. Just pop the cork. Get that going, and I reckon we'll start to... Oh shit. That's because the glass was only just washed out. Anywho, so we're going to be looking at hacking tools and just general electronics tools. And for this, probably what I'm going to want to do is consider shutting the tablet down. Well, it's not really a tablet so much, this one. Well, it sort of is, sort of isn't. It's one of these yoga things. It folds around. It technically is a tablet, but not really. So we'll... that's making a horrible squeaking sound. So let's just shut this down completely. Shut down anyway. And I'll show you the reason why. Because we're going to be having a look on the inside of this. And I've already taken the trouble to open it. And this is where our first set of tools will start to come in handy. Alright, let's just open this up anyway. I'm still holding drink in the other hand. So this isn't particularly easy, no doubt, but there we are. Right, so the first set of tools I'm going to want, alright, I might want to find a way to read those chips on there. Alright, let's see. BIOS chips, I have reason to believe, are these two guys. Alright, well, even with my impressive eyesight, reading that stuff is pretty difficult. So, I need some way of doing that. Well, I could just use my smartphone, indeed. But even then, you're not going to really get the correct resolution on it. And not only that, but you imagine trying to do this in a pinch or in a hurry. Alright. So, such an environment, for argument's sake, if it was hacking, you've managed to get into the executive's office, alright? You have enough time to quickly open the bottom of the machine, and now you want to know what's what on there. Alright? So I've put together this little tool, and it's quite a winner. It's that. Okay, it's a USB microscope, but it's better than this because it's rechargeable and it's wireless. Let me show you how it works. Right. So what you do is you take your another tablet, right, and you would simply do this. Let's turn the brightness up on this for a start anyway, and we will enable our Wi-Fi. Well, that's on. So let's just turn up our brightness level. You should be able to see this a bit better, hopefully. Alright. Long hit the Wi-Fi, and now we turn on our microscope. So we long press that. We have the blue light on there. That just simply recharges by a micro USB connection anyway. Of course, on here there's also a switch to turn up and turn down the brightness. Alright, so we go onto here and we connect our camera. I keep getting that stupid Google Play thing, yeah, appearing and disappearing, but whatever. Okay, so what we do is turn up the brightness, and as you see, there you are. We'll need to remove the plastic lens cap. This is genius. Now we need to go back and open up the application for this, which will be here. Hit the middle one, and as you see, straight away, it's connected. So if I want to know what that chip is, all I now need to do is just simply do that, and now I can read it. If only my hand was a little bit steadier. But there you are. How good is that? And now you can see exactly everything that's there. Now that is of course upside down, so what I will need to do is turn that the right way up. And set it correctly, which it now is. And now we can get to see, wherever it is, come on. There you are. Let's just turn that the right way up, which I've failed to do again, haven't I? But anyway, you get the idea. Now we can read exactly what that is, and we are good to go. How cool is that? So you can read everything that we want, nice and easy, completely battery powered as well, so less space on your workbench. And if you were in the business of mobile phone repair, such as what I usually do as well, there's the other phone, here it is, really easy. So you can just open the phone up like so. There we are. Disconnect the battery, get rid of that. Disconnect the screen, ribbon cable, and get rid of that. Now, if we want to, watch this. Now we can check this and see if there's any damage there. Looks all good. Look at that. See, how cool is that? All off of this. And yeah. Oh, on this note as well, actually I do need to do this as well. I can also, I actually do need to legitimately do this too. Let's just get this sat. Hit the minus button a bit. Let's try and get it right. Yeah, I can even press that button and take photos with it. How cool is that? If the resolution isn't perfect, I can back away from it. There it is. Gosh, my hand is bad. There it is. Awesome. There we go. Great. And then all I need to do now is just turn this off. Oh, didn't want to photograph the palm of my hand. Is that going to turn off? Oh, I did turn it off actually, and now I've just turned it back on. There we are, that's off. That comes out there. Can exit that, go into here, turn our Wi-Fi off as well. And put this thing back in its nappy. It also has a base as well and other gubbins. How cool is that? So that's the first bit of kit. And, oh shit, I forgot to put the lens cap back on, didn't I? How good is that? So, but again, nice and easy, nice and light. If you wanted to, you could even just chuck that in a pocket. If you're in the phone repair business, whichever the case may be. Not going to bother putting that back on properly just yet, because you're going to see why in a minute. Now, about that USB mic, well, so it's not even USB anyway, is it? It's wireless. About that, I did have one before from Maplin's. Well, if you look at the back of that, that's actually ruined. So funny enough, I did need to sort out a replacement one to fix this. This guy was 70 quid, brand new. Alright. So we're not going to throw him away, we're going to actually try and fix him at some point, but yeah, it has stopped working because of the break in the USB cable. But it is worth noting that I have had this about 8 years, so it's done well until it finally died this week. That prompted me to have to go on a scratch build and put all this together. You probably can find them on Amazon. Yeah, I think you can. They're about 40 quid. Get the parts, you can build them cheap enough yourself. Total cost on that one was about 17 quid. So again, could be done. Alright, the camera in it, essentially, it's nothing really different to one of them. And you can have these for about 4 or 5 quid. So they're not fantastic, but they'll do the job. In fact, it's actually almost exactly one of those. But this one, yeah, not. That's not USB. I mean, sorry, not Wi-Fi control. I don't know why I keep saying USB for. Whatever. Okay. Anywho, let's move on. Alright, let's have a look at the next tools, which again are relevant for the back of this being off. Comes to these, well, they're programmers. Well, it's programming basically, and it's to do with SOP chips. No, not chips shops. SOP chips, or chips with a SOP interface on it. So it has nothing to do with chip shops. Forget chip shops. Alright. On about SOP 8 and SOP 16. Alright. The way this works is quite simple. You have essentially your USB programmer here, and what you can do, and this guy's bent, I'll just straighten that out. What you can do is you can put these in here, like so, lock them down, and then if you have just like an 8-pin BIOS chip or something, then you can just plop him in here, hook him up to a computer, and flash program. And you might be wondering, well, what the hell has that got to do with hacking? Well, quite a lot actually, and I'm going to show you how and why. And just so I don't knacker anything, because I haven't got this all set up yet, take that back shell off, and then we have our battery under here. So I need to find where this guy goes. It's that. In fact, I might even have to unscrew that. In fact, let's do that quickly. Let's get that unscrewed. Should be able to do this relatively quickly anyway. So, you could imagine this, couldn't you? If you got into an executive's office, you'd have somebody waiting down the corridor for you on the team, such as like if you were in the red team environment. And yeah, your other operative would be keeping an eye out while you're doing this. Can you imagine that? Just want you to think about that. You know, this is sort of CIA level stuff, but it's probably what they would do, actually. Right, okay, so we said down here before, you remember about these 8-pin chips. Alright. Well, actually there is another way we can hook up to these without actually having to remove them. If only there was some way of being able to almost like jump wires. If only there was. Aha, there is. There certainly is, because in our little magic bag of affairs, which I need to make a nice case to put in it in, I'm going to take out that, and I'm going to remove this interface connector here. Alright. Looks like the old kind of ribbon cables you would find for computer mice or other old peripherals back in the day. It's exactly what that's like, isn't it? Well, on the other end, you see that? Might not be able to see it very well on this, but what you have is like crop clip. And what I would do is take this off, put that back in its nappy bag. Do need to make a nice case for that, I think. Now with this, what we'll do, right, so that's our interface controller. Put this in here, lock him down. Well, we haven't got a computer, have we? Don't need one. This is Super Sketch. And this has got problems with it. This phone definitely has, so it might die at any time. It's the hacker's phone and I need to get a replacement battery. So I have to work quite quickly on it. Plug that in there, which is USB to USB-C OTG adapter. And you plug this guy in there like that. Alright. Oh gosh, that has not gone in there very well at all. It has not gone in there very well at all. It's good enough. There you are. Now what I would do is I would open up, potentially, a terminal in Android. Oh, if only this thing wouldn't keep falling out. It keeps kicking me out. Like that. Alright. So what I can now do is input all of my custom commands and custom software. And the idea being is this. On the other end of that, I would have that hooked straight on there. Need to remodify these connectors on there, on that clamp, because it's not going to stay put. So I'll need to redesign this a little bit. But you can see the idea now. So with that connected here and then in here, like so, right, like that, I can rewrite BIOS chips without even needing to remove them from system board. So could you imagine that? All right, let's think about the implications of that. Done from a smartphone. Can you believe that? All off of a hacker's phone. All right, can you believe the implications of that? All right. Well, I'll tell you what those implications are straight away. All right. Now, while we put the battery back in, I think I've lost the screw for that and all. But the implications for this are actually quite serious. Now, let's just say for argument's sake, right, that you have antivirus programs on your computer. Well, if I'm able to get to system BIOS like I've just done, right, I can essentially put malware directly on the BIOS chip. And that is a major, major problem. And here's your reason why. Because your operating system might not even recognize that there's a virus that's been put there. Even if it did, well, what can you do? Because here's the fun fact for you. On every operating system that you have, all right, all of your antivirus is stored on the hard drive, right? And particularly, it'll only really recognise from the kernel onwards. We'll look at this at a later date for all you people out there who don't understand the Niki stuff. I'll cover that at a later one, don't you worry. But essentially, it goes like this. All right. If I reflash out system BIOS with malicious software or some backdoor Trojan, then essentially you have no way of being able to remove it. Even if you reformat Windows, even if you change hard drives out, whatever the hell you try and do, it's always only going to come down to that. So you could even go as far as to change your hard drive out, right? Reinstall Windows and think, I'm cured. But no, you're not. Virus is stored actually on at this point on the logic board. So you've had it. All that would happen is, in this case, you put a new hard drive in, alright, you reinstall Windows, alright, and the only thing that you've done is now just reinfect a new copy of Windows. So you're fucked. You've had it. You're fucked. It's game over. The only way that you can realistically get round that, if that was to happen, is either ditch your main board and change it, right, or replace BIOS chip. But even replacing BIOS chip might not be enough anyway. And not on the UEFI stuff these days, because even if you change one of those guys, the second one on there is what would store usually your supervisor or hypervisor password. So if you infect both, it's bye-bye logic board. And in this case, if it was a hypothetical executive, bye-bye laptop, essentially. It could well be. Now, if you think that that kind of malicious software doesn't exist, you're wrong. You're very wrong. In fact, this is a Lenovo machine, and there was something actually about this, and it has been spoken about quite a lot indeed, and it was to do with this CompuTrace, right, essentially. Now what it was is to do with computers that got compromised, and the idea being, right, CompuTrace is designed for like asset tracking. Right? So in other words, if you lose your device, how can I put it without being too neaky and geeky about it? Find my iPhone. It's like that. Alright? It's like find my iPhone. Or like where is my Android device? When you've got that shit enabled, it means that basically you can be geo-tracked, essentially. So no matter what you do to this damn machine, there's really no way of actually removing it. That's the problem. Right? So, in short, it comes down to either a BIOS change or logic board change. In this case, right, I mean, this has got other problems in any event. I can't even remember how much I paid for it in the end, but I think it was about £40. But there you are. As we said, it is a sort of tablet thing anyway, because you can fold it over backwards. So, yeah. But yeah, it's got issues. So yeah, I do need to actually reflash out BIOS, and that's something that we're going to be looking at a later date. There's all sorts of other gubbins in there as well. Other interface controllers and other types of interface for it. You've got this one as well, which is spring clipped. You put the chip in there like that and then release that and it will hold it in. Yeah. And there's even one on here as well. I think for like, yeah, there it is. So those pads were essentially, I could SMD solder one on there. I don't know quite why you'd want to solder it. Is, well, I wouldn't, but that's it. So there you are. Right, I better get that screwdriver put away before I lose that. These are expensive, actually. And just on that side note, no, I'm not endorsed by these guys. That's just the iFixit toolkit. I'd recommend, if you're in the business of hacking or repairs, I would say get one. Served me really well. In fact, every time that you may see me rolling around, I've probably... shit, I don't want to sit on that either. Jeepers, that's sharp. Oof. Ooh, that will cut your bum open, that. I don't want to sit on that. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, every time that you see me rolling around, I actually have that on me most of the time. Most of the time. And yeah, I can even fit the scalpel in there as well. X-Acto blade, scalpel, whatever the hell you want to call it. Right. Where are we now? Okay. There's only really 2 more things, because that is essentially just the same anyway. So now it's just this, and well, we all know what that is anyway, basically put. Which one do I want to cover first? Which one? I reckon probably the hard drive Caddy, maybe. Yeah, because it's the most boring, isn't it? I should have actually done the whole video backward. I should have. In fact, I could even potentially just leave the hard drive Caddy out, because it's not really uncommon, is it? Although actually the see-through plastic ones probably might be, because most hard drive Caddies are not of that sort of see-through. I don't even know what the hell that is. Well, it is plastic, but it's not a very good one. It's pretty incompetent as a plastic goes. It's definitely not as strong as polycarbonate. It's that shit that's really brittle. I think now that we've gone down talking about it, I think we might as well feature it. Oh god, this drink's gonna go fucking flying in it. Let's put that down. Need a smoke in a bit anyway. Anyway, moving on. Let's deal with this. Because it's really simple, this. Let's just disregard that. Yeah, alright, so it's that really cheap shit kind of... Yeah, it's definitely not worthy of being called polycarbonate. That's the stuff where if you drop it, it will shatter. Absolutely. Where have I seen this sort of plastic before? Ferrero Rocher. Yeah, the chocolates. You know these stupid little plastic boxes where they put these, looks like chocolate truffles? Ferrero Rocher with the hazelnuts in them? Them. And the boxes are crap because if they drop, they shatter or crack. And this is no exception. It probably will do. Now, the only reason why I bought this is because I needed the lead for it. USB 3 lead. And I think Amazon at the time was selling them independently, just the lead, for about £7. I was like, no, fuck that, I'm not paying that. when I can buy the whole Caddy for about £5. So that's what I did. At least we have a spare SATA controller on it. Anyway, so the way this works is quite simple. You just take your existing hard drive. Let's just go and get one. Got one. Yeah. 1 terabyte drive. Why am I even showing this as unusual hacking tools? It's not. This is just a standard, USB Caddy. That's it. It proclaims that you can change this in 3 seconds. I don't know about that. Well, alright, yeah, plausible. So back just slides off. Good thing, I suppose, is that you can actually see what's written on there, which is ideal if you happen to be needing to see what's written on the drive, I suppose. Yeah, could be. Could be if you're running into a system. Actually, yeah, that is kind of cool. If you're running into a system and you're trying to hack it, alright, and you're trying to install a bunch of custom software somewhere, you'll want to see the sort of serial number and firmware of your drive. Yeah, it's a good idea, I suppose, in that way. It's a low-tech sort of solution to a problem, as a way of putting it. There is another device I have seen, and it's one that a friend of mine's got. I won't mention his name because he's a hacker as well, but I'm not going to go into that. But the one that he's got, same sort of principle, but it just has an LCD display on it, and it's a bit bigger than this, and it can fit 3 drives in it essentially, and it's also like a vault as well, so it's like encrypted and shit. So it's a digital kind of vault as well. It's as if like it's, got a safe in there with loads of guards around it and shit. You get it. It's the sort of equivalent of that. This is just a low-tech kind of plug it in, and I can show you that sort of. Let's just stick USB 3 in there. Start your machine up. I don't even know if this actually works. I've not tried it. It's fresh straight out the packet. Oh, can you believe that? I just stuck that straight in first time. As if. Yeah, it seems that it's running. Sorry, I better pause this because you can't see a password on this. There we are. Back because you didn't need to see that. So, does that actually run? Is it? It's not even showing. Why is that then? Oh, that is strange. No, I know why. I've just realised. There is no problem. No problem at all. I know why that's not picking up. The reason being is because that hard drive runs on Linux only, and Windows won't recognise it. And just on that note as well, it's actually pretty easy to change drives in and out of there. No screwdrivers needed. The main gripe is with this pile of garbage though, aside of that plastic being frightfully flimsy, which I can't see lasting very long, is putting that cable back in there, I don't think this is gonna age very well, this. I really don't. Oh no, it does. So that's pretty cool. And I'll keep that in its packaging anyway. And then that can actually go with my others. The other cool thing is as well, I suppose, from a forensic point, you can wipe your fingerprints off of it and see where you've touched it. Just saying, like. I need a smoke. I need a smoke. I need to quit this actually at some point. I've done so well. And that's one of the reasons why I'm quitting drinking the lager, because I'm cutting down on the old these. I just fancy one now. Actually, with the Freshenet, that does go quite well. I do quite like that. Let me just pause off quickly while I just put this back. 1 second. Well, I ain't put it back yet, but hard drives, got plenty of them. Oh yes, there's all our tools on them. Look at all that. Plenty of fun. Could never have too much hard drive space, I'll tell you that now. That's what you want. That is what you want. And we've even got our heavily hacked Honeywell PDA in there. Oh, there's space there actually. In fact, you know what? We'll keep that heavy packaging. Let's see if this will fit. It should do. And this is why I'm sceptical about how long it's going to last. That's why I'm very sceptical about it. You can't even see what I'm fucking doing, can you? I know a lot of people will say, well, why don't you put the drive back in there? But then I'll end up with a fucking cable flapping around. And I think that's how I either lost one or broke one. So I'll just do that. I'm not sure if that's actually going to fit. Probably not. Probably not. Maybe it might, maybe it won't. No, that's going to end up cracked. The case, anyway, I can't remember what that was for. I think it was DS or something. Anyway, I'll just pause quickly for a sec. Okay, so we're back again. I'm going to use a burning red. Somebody somewhere is probably talking about me. And I need a bit more flavour in this. It's garbage. So I'm going to take some Chambord. Let's put that down. Oh, it's a little bit sticky. Let's just pour some of that in there. A nice bit of flavour. I need to use this up anyway. That could be quite interesting for another one of my other projects. I think you know. Whee! Let's see what this tastes like then. And then we'll feature the next tool, which will be this guy. Ugh. Not quite a Key Royale. Anywho, what was that bang out there? Well, not me. Unfortunately. Okay, so this one, alright, this cost me on Amazon $26.99, I think it was. And it's the UM25C. That's the card for it. And they do a couple of versions of these. Scan the QR code and you can download the software for it. Pause it if you have to. I don't even know if you'll be... No, you won't be able to scan that anyway. That's the device in question. And this is really cool, actually. It's useful for diagnostics, but potentially hacking as well. I'll show you how it works. At the minute, into the phone, I've got my charging cable. Or maybe I want to see what power draw I've got. So all we need to do is just break the lead, which we've done. One end in there, one end in there, redang. Now we can see what we've got. Look at that. And it even gives us our temperature reading, so we can observe the temperature. But it's better than that. Now where I said you can scan that QR code, well, that's because this is also Bluetooth driven. This is handy, very, because if I put the software on there, I would essentially be able to see what's on here, on there. And that's useful because, well, you know, like where inherently these sort of charging cables reach to? Yeah, they're not in easy to reach places, are they? Like maybe underneath a fucking workbench or something. Well, you can just drop that under there, leave it there, and then hook it up to your phone. Perfect little solution. And you've got all of your functions here as well. So what is it we can do? Yeah, we can turn it around to look at it that way. I'll press it again. It's there. Or yeah, we can see our milliamp hours and milliwatt hours. Gives us I think there's battery status on there as well. And unbelievably, it also gives us what looks like, wow, that's really cool. Looks like some mini oscilloscope. So we can actually observe what's going on with this. That's really cool. There are loads of menu functions on there as well. That is well worth featuring. That is so cool, that. It's not too bad, actually. Weighs a little bit, but it just seems a little fragile in terms of its build quality, though. I might put this into a nice enclosure. In fact, it's already got one. Putting it in. Aha. We like that. I might even have to have that on a shirt. So putting it in. Yeah, because we're putting it in. In. So we'll just connect this. But yeah, knock a hole through the back of the tin here. Knock one through the front. Well, I think that could actually work as well. Then we can keep it in there. And then be that way round, so obviously you can see it. Might have to grind this off or cut through that, but at least then ain't going to get busted. But then it probably won't work on Bluetooth because it'll be in a Faraday cage. So that's probably a crap idea. But we could even have it open anyway. Whichever, But that's particularly useful for a number of reasons. Let's say that you come by a bunch of USB lines on the server or something of that nature, and you want to see what's live and what isn't. That's one option. Saves a lot of time, because the other way that I would have had to do it, you split that. Can you imagine what a pain in the backside this would be when you then need... let's just move that out of the way, because I can see this falling everywhere. I bet I'm right. No. But risk assessments, I suppose. Because the other way of having to do this would then be precariously using multimeters and then needing to read all down in here and then opening the phone up or opening whatever device. Don't need to. All you need to do is just break that cable and you're good to go. There is another way of this as well, actually, and I'm going to look at line injection at some point, which is why this tool is essentially featured. So what you can do, small incision here and a small incision here, strip back that sheath in and potentially splice into it. So in other words, if this was some kind of booby trap, maybe device on a network, if you break it, it sets off some alarm. Right? Might not want to be breaking that. So all we would then do is splice in, attach on another USB connector, plug this in, and then essentially you just run a bypass through it and see if it's live. Some James Bond level shit right there. So definitely a keeper and a win, and it's made my repairs a lot easier as well. Talking of repairs, this stuff, I need to get this thing put back, and then we'll cover the last product. Okay, so let's see if we can do this kind of one-handed. Let's see if we can. Goodness, how this is going to go. Oh my goodness, I am getting quicker with this. If there's a world record for rebuilding phones, I'm probably going to get that. I would say, let's see if we've done this. Let's see if that powers up. Sure does. That's quick. That was not edited either, as you saw. I just need to reconnect that then and pair that up, and we'll sort that out. Anywho, last product. I think you would have seen these before anyway. I think I might have even featured it on the channel. Well, you'll remember with the BIOS programmer tool, that I showed you earlier on in the video. Well, guess what? It does exactly what it says on the box. If you can even read it, I don't know if you'll be able to. Anywho, it's an automatic identification tool for transistors, diodes, dual diodes, MOS, SCRs, resistors, inductors, capacitors, and ESR capacitors as well. And essentially, it's the same glorified deal as before. Interface connector that goes on there, and then you can put whatever component over on there, hit the test button, and it will test it. Gets better than that. I'll show you why. Remember in here again? Sure do. That drops in here. That's locked down. Go hit the test button, and now you can see, without needing to remove anything from a circuit, if it fucking works or not. There you go. Subsequently, throw everything on the floor. Definitely need to get something made up for that. Definitely. Just folds flat. Just runs off a straight square 9-volt battery, like the ones you find in smoke alarms these days, or used to. There's a lot of them nowadays, mains driven as well, but yeah. That just goes over the top. Should do. That's it. As always, we just launch that back into its nappy. Cob it in here for now. So we'll have time to deal with all of it. Just keeps it all nice in there. That's basically that then. There's a spare cork if you want one. I don't. Oh, what a shot. That was good. And then there's always the mini USB sort of soldering iron anyway. Always good. These can be run off a battery bank. I do have a battery bank here. Yes, I do. Am I going to plug it in? No, because that gets super hot within about 3 seconds. And yeah, I don't think you really need to be seeing that. Spare cork. Just chuck that in there like so. Another good reason to be drinking this stuff rather than the beer. Yeah, that can go in that box as well then. There's tons of space in there actually. Look at that, see? Loads of space. That. Set that out properly. There you are. Just chuck this down here for the time being. Easy, isn't it? All of that lot, essentially, what would have previously needed like fucking huge workbenches and shit like that, completely portable. That could easily fit inside my, you know, my Godfather jacket. That, well, not that size box, but same sort of width and length, but half it in terms of like the height. Yeah, easily. And that definitely goes in the Godfather's jacket. I know because I tested it earlier. Gave it a dry run. And I'd even have enough room just in the jacket to carry a toolkit as well. Can you believe it? That's incredible, isn't it? So that will actually potentially change the way that I do things forever. I can live with that. Which means more time out here, more time travelling about, and potentially go anywhere where I want, and a hell of a lot more fun. Okay. And then paired up with all of my hacking software here, with probably the guy over in the background, which we need to re-feature more of that. I think we're right onto a win, so I would say ching ching, bottoms up. And as always, I think that pretty much brings us to the close of this one. That's it. Pretty much. I think that's kind of cool. Anywho, I have got another video I do need to do. I think we probably will be opening up the brandy, because I want to cover the Hacker Playbook 3. And this is a wicked book. That is a wicked book. And I want to cover that. I do want to cover it. So, there we are. And I guess that's it. It's quite a long video, this one, isn't it? Ooh. And I've got dinner still doing. I'm having tonight turkey leg. Just a leg. Well, turkey's bloody big anyway. So I'm having turkey leg, garlic with a light Philadelphia cheese sauce, with probably tarragon, rosemary and asparagus, and I'll serve that also with a saffron rice. Bonus. Aperitif will be that brandy, I reckon. I want to give that a go, but yeah, I'm knocking the lager on the head for a while. Try and get some of that weight down. Anyway, love you all. I think that's 206 subscribers we're at now. Hopefully more coming soon. And until the next time, stay good. Keep it ethical. It's been yours truly. Over and out. Mwah. Oh yeah. What is it on noisy? Get that bell on. Ringy ding. And yeah, hit the subscrizzle button. And what else was it said? Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Ringy ding. No cheating. And there you are. You had to wait to the end for that one. See you soon. Bye. Ooh. Oh, shit. I spilled a bit. Fucking hell. How's that of a video? That one, wasn't it? Whew. Shit, mate. Oh, I hate these long ones. Fucking hell. It does make you laugh, though. Whew. Fucking hell, I keep drinking like this and eating as well as I do. My nose goes any more upturned, I'm going to become so posh, I'm going to turn inside out. Oh shit, it's still recording. Oh dear. Didn't think about that one. Bye.